Hello, and welcome back to Queenscraft by Bridget. Today, we are going to finish off our wonderful sock that we have been working on. We are going to put our toe in, and we are going to Kitchener that. I have done a total of 59 rows, as I want 60. You can do 60, and your 61st is the start of your toe, however you want to do, or if you do 70, 80, depending on the size of your foot and what you need. As my foot is very short, I only wear like a size 7, 7.5 in women's, so I don't need a whole lot of rows or rounds after my heel goes in. And as the lady that is getting the socks wears the same size shoes as I do, and her foot comes out the same as mine, I'm going to make these socks as if they were for me. Now, what we will need is our DPNs. We will need a pair of scissors, our stoppers if we're going to take a break, a darning needle to tie off of our ends in Kitchener, and of course our yarn and our sock. Now, yours probably will not be broke. Mine is. There was a break in my yarn, and I don't want to start a start in the middle of my toe, so I'm going to start here with my new yarn, and I will weave in my ends a little bit later. I'm going to tighten that up a little bit. Now I have my first DPN, and what we are going to do is we are going to knit the first stitch, pop that off the needle. Then I'm going to have you place your marker, just so you know what is your first needle and what is your last needle. Okay, and then we are going to knit 16 so that we have a total of 16. So 15 more stitches onto this needle. That's number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 15, and 16. Okay, now we're going to slide our stitches to about the center of those needle. Pick up our next needle and repeat 3 more times. 16 stitches on the next 3 needles. I'll meet you back at the beginning. Okay, we have all 4 of our DPNs now placed onto our sock. What I do, just to make it a little bit easier, is I put the last needle underneath the needle that I'm working on, just to give me a little bit to keep my work sturdy. Going to need that other DPN. There we go. Now, this first round is going to be a decrease round. We have 16 stitches, and we are going to decrease every other round until we have 12 stitches. And I will show you how we're going to work our decreases. It will only be 1 per needle, so let's do this. Okay, try to get up here nice and close. We are going to knit that first stitch, and we're going to slide our marker over. Shout out to my girl Veronica from Veto's Crochet Gifts. She made me that marker. We are going to slip 1 stitch and slip a 2nd stitch. Now we're going to place our needle in that first stitch that was slipped over, just like that. Then we're going to put under here, bring it underneath, pull through, drop that off. Then we're going to pick it back up with our left hand needle, and we are going to knit. There we go. Knit that stitch. We have just done a slip, slip, knit. Now we are going to knit the remaining stitches on this round, or on this needle, not this round. Okay. And I will meet you at the end of this needle. Okay. Got one last stitch on this needle. There we go. And as I said, I always go, I pull it out, and I put that last needle underneath the top of my needle I'm going to work from. Now we are going to knit every stitch until we get down to these last 3 stitches. I will meet you back when I have these 3 stitches left. Okay. Now we have these 3 stitches left, right? At the end of needle number 2. 1, 2, 3. Now we are going to knit 2 of these stitches together as if they were just one stitch. So we're going to come in behind the second stitch and go through the middle of both and knit them together as if we were knitting just one stitch. And now we are going to knit our last stitch. There we go. And we place that needle underneath, turn our sock. Now, on needle number 3, we are going to slip, slip, knit again. So we will knit our first stitch, pop that off, then we need to slip and slip and jump it over just like that, and then pop it back over onto that working needle. Oop, I missed it. And knit that stitch just like, oh, a little bit fiddly to do in the camera, sorry about that, but I am really trying to stay in frame. Now we will knit every stitch until we get to the last 3 stitches on needle number 4. So every stitch on needle number 3, and then every stitch on needle number 4 until we get to the last 3 stitches, and I will meet you there. Okay, as you can see, we have 3 stitches left on needle number 4, because there's our marker for needle number 1. We are going to go in behind and pick up both of those stitches. Let me in there. Can you see? Right there. Go in both of those and knit them together as if they were one stitch. And then we are going to knit that last stitch. There we go. Awesome. We have just done our very first decrease round. Now, mine looks a little gappy right here. That is because I have a new ball of yarn. I will fix that and make it look nice and pretty when I tie in all my ends. So, on this round, we are just going to knit every stitch on all 4 needles. So I will meet you back when you have completed your knit round. Okay, I have knit all the way around. So now we are going to do another decrease round, and we are going to decrease in the same manner as we did in the last round. We are going to slip, slip, knit the first needle, then knit all the stitches. Then we are going to knit all the stitches to the last 3 on the second needle and knit 2 together. Slip, slip, knit again on the third needle and knit 2 together on the fourth. But don't worry, I will walk through that with you a couple more times just to make sure that everybody has it. My marker is being fiddly on me. There we go. So let's begin. All right. So we knit. Oh, let me get back in frame. We knit the first stitch. We pass our marker. And we slip as if to knit. Or purl, sorry. Slip as if to purl. And then we go into that first one. Hold on to it. And then pass your needles underneath. Pop it off. Pop it over. And knit that stitch. There we go. Now we are going to knit every stitch all the way. Every stitch on this needle. And then every stitch to the last 3 stitches on needle number 2. I will meet you up when I'm at the last 3 stitches on needle number 2. Okay, as you can see, I have 3 stitches left on needle number 2. Try to bring that up just a little bit closer. And we are going to knit them 2 together. Right through there like that. And knit as if, oop, sorry, messed that up. See, even pros mess up. There we go. And then we're going to knit that stitch. Now, on our next needle, needle number 3, we are going to again slip, slip, knit. So, again, how we do that, move our needle down, is we knit that first stitch, and we slip, and we slip, we stick that needle in there, pulling that stitch up, hold it in place, bring that needle underneath, let that stitch fall off, put that one back over there, and knit that stitch. There we go. Now we are going to knit all the stitches until we have gotten just 3 stitches left in this round. And I will meet you back when you've hit that point. 3 stitches left on the 4th needle of the round. Okay, here we are. 3 stitches left of this round. We are going to knit those 2 together. So hard to stay in frame. Sorry, I'm trying very hard to do this. It is not an easy task, definitely, to hug a tripod while you knit. There we go. And pop that off and knit that last stitch. Okay. Now, okay, as you see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14 stitches left. Okay, I want you to knit all the way around and then decrease to give yourself 13 stitches. Knit all the way around, decrease again to give yourself 12 stitches, and knit all the way around. And once you've done that just knit around, when you've got 12 stitches, I will meet you back and we will go on to the very next step. All right, so we now have 12 stitches. See, got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, yes. Had to double check, make sure. Okay, so now what we are going to do is we are simply going to decrease every round until we make it to 8 stitches on every single needle. And we're going to decrease in the same manner as we have been. Slip, slip, knit, knit 2 together the last 3, slip, slip, knit, knit 2 together the last 3. I will do that with you this round, and then I'll let you go until you make it, until you have the 8 stitches. All right, so for this first one, I'm going to move our working needle down, come up a little bit closer, and we are going to knit that first stitch, pass our marker over. We are going to slip, slip, pass it over, put it back on the working needle, and knit it. And now we are going to knit every stitch on this needle and every stitch on the second needle until we get to, we have 3 stitches left, and I will meet you at that point. 3 stitches left on the second needle. Okay, as you can see, I have 3 stitches left on that second needle, and we are going to knit 2 together, just like that. We're going to slip in there both of them and knit them together as if they're one stitch. Knit 1, go to needle number 3, oh, a little fiddly. The only thing about DPNs, they are a little bit fiddly, but once you get used to working with them, it's really not that bad. It's just a little harder when you're on camera. And of course, we are going to knit 1, and we are going to slip, slip, pass that stitch over, knock it off, put it on, and knit that stitch. There we go. And now we are going to knit all the stitches until we have just 3 stitches left in the round, and that will give us 11 stitches on each needle at the end of this round. And I will meet you up when I get to that point. Okay, we have the last 3 stitches of the round. Put our yarn back where it belongs. We're going to knit those 2 together and knit that last stitch. Okay, wonderful. Now, as you can see, we have 11 stitches left on each needle. We are going to go decrease all the way around again, as we have done on this round, till we got 10, 9, 8. I will meet you back when you have 8 stitches on each needle. All right, how exciting. We are down to 8 stitches left on each needle. We have 1 more round to knit, and then we will Kitchener our sock closed. How amazing is that? This round, we're just going to knit every single stitch. We're going to knit the first 2 needles onto one needle, the second 2 needles onto another needle. We can drop that place marker now. We don't need it no more. We aren't going to lose our place no more. All right, I'm going to hurry up and try to knit these stitches quickly here as we work together for this last round. We can drop that needle. We don't need him no more. And we're going to knit everything onto the off of the second needle onto the one we knit everything on from the first needle. It gets a teensy bit fiddly, little irritable at the end here, those last couple stitches, but not that big of a deal. There we go. We have the bottom half of our sock on one needle. And we're going to come over here, put that needle under there. And we are going to knit the next 2 needles onto this one. Now, of course, if you want your toe just a smidgen longer, you can go down and keep decreasing just a little bit further onto each needle. That is completely up to you. This is just a basic, simple, this is how I make my socks. No rhyme or reason, no particular pattern, just something that I have picked up in my whopping year of sock knitting. I have knit about 20 pairs in the last year, most of which are available to be seen on my Facebook, but not all, as quite a few of them were gifted. And I did not take pictures. There we go. We have all of our work on 2 needles. Now, the one that the yarn's connected to, we're going to put that in the back, and we are going to call that needle number 2. Needle number 1 is going to be the one in the front, the one that's actually connected to the bottom of your foot. Okay, so I'm going to take our working yarn. I'm going to take 18, 24 inches or so. Nice long piece, you don't want to run out. Snip it off. There we go. Put that down. We are going to take our tapestry needle. Now you can use a blunt tip. I prefer a sharp. Just a preference. Just as the knitting needles and style of knitting this sock is just a preference. There are several ways and several techniques for knitting socks, and I invite you to check them all out and figure out what your favorite way of knitting a sock is. So, I'm going to put that down. Now, this is really very simple. We are going to take it one little stitch at a time, and you can do this. So, this needle back here, okay, the one that's connected to the bottom of your foot, the one that is not connected to the yarn. We are going to put our needle in as if to purl that stitch. Okay. Pull it through, pull it through, pull it through. Now, we're going to take on this back needle and put our needle in as if to knit. Okay. Now, we're not going to let that guy sit on top of here. Okay. We're going to pull that all the way through. Yes, I know that's a lot of yarn to pull through, but we have a lot of stitches to take off. Okay. Now, we're going to come back up to this needle, and we're going to go in as if to knit, and we're going to kick that guy off the needle, and then this needle, or this stitch behind him, we're going to go in as if to purl. Now, here we go, in as if to purl. And we're going to pull that yarn through, pull it through, pull it through. There we go. Okay, now we're going to go to this back needle, and we're going to go in as if to purl. So the opposite of what we did on the front needle. In as if to purl, and pop that guy off of there. In as if to knit. And make sure he stays on. There we go. And we're going to pull that through. There we go. Now, back to the front. In as if to knit, and pop him off. Second stitch, in as if to purl. Okay, now, in as if to purl. Of course, we don't want to grab any extra fluff. And of course, when I'm looking through a camera, this is in as if to purl, in as if to knit. There we go. Pull that all the way through. back to the front, in as if to knit, in as if to purl, and pull that through. Got a little knot in my yarn. Let me fix that real quick. Okay, now we're back to the back stitch, and we're going to go in as if to purl and kick that stitch off, in as if to knit, and pull it all the way through. There we go. And if it wraps around the top of there, just kick him off. No big deal. Then we're going to go in as if to knit on this needle, your bottom needle, bottom of your foot needle, in as if to knit, kick him off, in as if to purl, pull it through, in as if to purl, knock him off, in as if to knit, pull it through. In as if to knit, knock him off, in as if to purl, pull it through. In as if to purl, knock him off, in as if to knit, pull him through. There we go. Then in as if to knit, knock it off, in as if to purl, pull it through. In as if to purl, knock him off, in as if to knit, pull it through. In as if to knit, knock him off, in as if to purl, pull him through. Getting closer and closer. In as if to purl, knock him off, in as if to knit, pull it through. In as if to knit, knock him off, in as if to purl, pull it through. In as if to purl, knock him off, in as if to knit, pull him through. In as if to knit, knock him off, in as if to purl, pull it through. In as if to purl, knock him off, in as if to knit, pull it through. In as if to knit, knock him off, in as if to purl, pull him through. In as if to purl, knock him off, in as if to knit, pull it through. In as if to knit, knock him off, in as if to purl, pull him through. In as if to purl, knock him off, in as if to knit, pull him through. In as if to knit, knock him off, in as if to purl, pull it through. And it is as if to purl, knock him off, and as if to knit, pull him through. And as if to knit, knock him off, and as if to purl, pull him through. And as if to purl, knock him off, and as if to knit, pull him through. The guy off it. There we go. Yeah. Okay. And as if to knit, knock them off, and as if to purl, pull them through. And as if to purl, knock them off, and as if to knit, so pull them through. There we go. Okay, and then we will just knit and knock them off, and purl and knock them off. Pull them through. And there you go, everybody. We have Kitchenered our toe closed. Give it a little boop boop. And it looks as if you just knit completely around the toe. You stick your hand inside, run your needle through, hide your ends, and you have successfully knit a sock with me. Congratulations. And please remember, if you would like to, I would love to see a picture of your completed sock. You can get a hold of me either by email, Instagram, or my Facebook group page. Everything is linked down below in the description box. Thank you, everybody, for following me along. I have greatly appreciated the opportunity to show you how I knit my favorite sock.